come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah. Put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach. Put me in the game. They put me in, so I'm going in. You play for fun, I'm playing to win. Back on the wall, I'm ready for war. If I beat them before, I could beat them again. They thought I was done, I went on a run and beat all the odds and got even again. Watch what you say, I'm not one of them. When I jump in my bag, I could jump out the gym. Take a look at my legacy, I gotta let them see I'm out here winning, cause I'm on a mission. Put me in the game, cause the way I'm feeling, I honestly do not see no competition. I gotta get it, so it ain't no quitting. We jumped off the benches and jumped in the trenches. No one is better than all of us, and that's why all of us been winning from the beginning. It's more than a game, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go, catch!
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Hurts sets up to throw it. It's caught by Sanders. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. These two teams had met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Hurts. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense. Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Prescott. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. On fourth down, Prescott goes off, and on comes the Cowboy kicker, Brent Maher, for the field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Maher is good, and the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their second drive here to ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Looking deep for Hilton. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Maher, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. On the sneak, it's Prescott. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. The first down carry by Elliott. Taken down at the 42. The Cowboys at 13-1 now on the year, and they've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to...
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Dallas Goedert, of course, he'll do well in this stadium. He's got a first down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Ready?
Second down at 5. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Hurts to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And once again, this is Sanders. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Play action. Here's Hurts. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. With the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A 1st down there on a pickup at 25. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. From the pistol, here's Elliott. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kaiser White. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, When they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Hurts. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Damone Clark. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now Prescott. Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Fielded right around the 8. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Prescott looks to throw on first. That is caught by Lamb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, stand ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. From the shotgun again to Elliott. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 20-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on third down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. In there to drop it for the loss, linebacker Nakobe Dean, an outstanding play. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Prescott, he'll run. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Looking to throw, Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Hurts throw here, take it in as he's able to find Goddard. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
From the 39, Hurts. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Damone Clark. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 22. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Over the middle here to Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Hurts sets up to throw it. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. He could not get rid of it in a big-time loss there on 3rd. The sack sets up 4th.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And this one is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. Inside give to Elliott. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 4th down, Prescott goes off, and on comes the Cowboy kicker, Brett Maher, for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Maher is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.